I promise to hold the reins when you get tired. I promise to work tirelessly by your side to achieve the things that we value and dream of, to devote my life to our family, whether it consists of a herd of small people, a pack of Bichons, or just the two of us.
I promise all of these things, not just when life seems easy, but perhaps more importantly also when it seems difficult. Let's get really, really old together, darling. Thank you for marrying me.
You were bruised and I was young. We both lived beneath the same sun. I knew you long before we met. I was halfway up, you're halfway down. Lost a king, found a crown. Oh, and I knew you long before we met. Long before we met. Before we met. Oh, and you knew me long before we met. Time was never on our side, oh, we drifted with the tide. And I knew you long before we met. You understood my every word we spoke, melodies unheard. And I knew you long before we met. Long before we met. Before we met. Oh, and you knew me long before we met. My final wish to deafen me from my crime will always be how much I listen. And how I never seem to forget, or blind my eyes from what I see, for I can't wait this patiently. For this life wasn't meant to start yet. Long before we